Hi, you guys. So, this is a What's Good for Miss Marvel. All of the episodes are now on Disney Plus as of July 13th. I guess I don't need to say today. um, but when I watch, because I guess there's just been a lot of, not necessarily discussion, but I know with Phase 4, um, as well as like this show in particular, there's just been a lot of discussion and everything. So this show um, has been the lowest debuted MCU show. So 775,000 people watched it when it first came out. And that's different than the other MCU shows that have come out. Those are usually like in the millions. And so I don't know if that is because, and that can be because of a bunch of different variables. This is a entirely new character, which so is Moon Knight. But Moon Knight is an adult. This is a teen. So I don't know if there's like, I don't want to watch another teen, like, coming of age, like superhero sort of situation that maybe a lot of people don't know about. Um, then you have the situation of it's a new character, new story, um, which is very different than existing characters and new stories, as well as like the continuation of previous stories into these new stories, if that makes sense. So, like, when it comes to the MCU shows that we've had, they've built on like the aftermath of Endgame, and okay, now kind of what? So it's building on to now, like old with new. My personal opinion is, one, it's an entirely new character, which is fine. Like, I think we're gonna get a lot of that for a bit. Um, and I have no issue with that. When it comes to any of these shows, I don't go in with high expectations, low expectations. I go in to see, like, am I gonna enjoy the show? Like, what am I going to get to build into the story that we already have? Is it going to be a continuing timeline? Like, what extra am I gonna get? That's kind of what I'm going in for, like extra story. Um, but as for this show, I think, like, it's not something where you feel like, okay, I have to watch weekly, unless you're truly committed to it. Like, I personally enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, I'll watch weekly, because I'm like, the first episode, not saying it was bad, I was like, okay, I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Second episode had me like a little bit more than the first. Um, and after that, I was very curious as to where the story was going to go, and kind of learning more about the history of things. So that is kind of what got me to continue to watch. As for, I think too, you've got Miss Marvel, and it's not connecting to either of the movies that have come out, like, currently. You had Multiverse of Madness, and now you have Thor: Love and Thunder. And it's not really like something where, oh, I need to watch this show now because these movies are coming out. I need to be connected. I need to know what's going on. You don't really need to watch the show to know what is going on right now. Because the next thing that might be connected to it is going to be later down the line. So my theory is, now that the show's all out, people can now binge watch it. So why watch to debut when you don't really need to? Unless you're truly committed. Like, unless you really, really, like, were interested in seeing this. I was just very curious because I don't know a bunch about the character. Was reading a bunch of stories on it. I know a lot of people in regards to her powers and everything were kind of upset in how they were going to be portrayed in the show than in the comics. So I know that was a big kind of not disagreement, but a big thing. Personally, as like a show aspect, I enjoyed like I personally like seeing not the conflict, but I like seeing how does a family, like in this case, since she is still a teenager, she's still living at home, like how does this dynamic work? And I really like seeing like different cultural aspects, especially too with her background and everything. I liked seeing that. I liked seeing something a little different than what we're normally given, personally. And I think it was not necessary, but I personally enjoyed it. Because I think it really gives you that diversity and inclusion in a sense. Um, and like I said, you get that as the show goes on, you get that historical element as to, okay, what's kind of going on here. Um, and you will see, like, okay, how's this going to maybe connect later on? And all the like most of the characters I enjoyed. There was definitely conflict. You're curious as to, okay, how's this conflict going to be solved? Um, I would say like maybe the bad, like the villain in this isn't like the best villain. Um, but I mean, with how much I know of this particular like character and property, I don't know why I'm saying property, but this particular character, um, I don't know too much about the villains and really what else they could have done on that front. So, I mean, I think they did what they could do. I liked it more for trying to figure things out and like what is the background of everything. That's why I enjoyed it. My only other critique or criticism when I first started watching the show, and it wasn't even about Miss Marvel, it was about Captain Marvel. And it's not a dig at Captain Marvel really at all. It's just how I think Captain Marvel has been done. Because like I I just started thinking, and I think the show kind of like hints at it too, like, well, she was only on Earth for like a bit. And I'm not mad at that. Like, I just wish, like in a way, if they were going, I wish they just the MCU would have done more with Captain Marvel. And I don't know from the comic perspective, I don't know too much about Captain Marvel. And again, I have no hate for Captain Marvel. I've seen the animated kind of perspective of Captain Marvel and like how her like that personality is. And I'm trying to think what I watched with her dynamic and Miss Marvel's dynamic. Oh God, I can't remember what it was, but it also involved Riri Williams, who will be Ironheart, and that I'm really excited for. But I think just I don't know. Like I wish like Captain Marvel was sometimes just more involved. Just like a bit. I don't know. Like me and my boyfriend were kind of talking about it a bit, where maybe it was like the lineup of how Captain Marvel like came out, because it literally came out before Endgame, after Infinity War, if we remember correctly. Maybe if it came out before Infinity War, like that perspective may be a little bit different, but that's just kind of my thoughts and opinions. Again, I have no hate towards Captain Marvel. I just wish she would, like, there was a little bit more done with her. And as to like why so much like rah rah, like to me she hasn't done too much personally. Um, Maybe with more time, maybe once they do the Marvels or like future projects, that opinion might change. But so far, like nothing else has really happened. So, um, yeah, maybe with time that might change. But as of right now, um, that's kind of that. And again, that's not even a critique with the show. That's just like the first thing she kind of talks about is like her like woo for Captain Marvel, and I'm like, why? Like, I get it, but why? But you everyone has what they feel and everything. Like, I get it, so I have no room to judge. But that is my thoughts and opinions on the show. um Let me know what you all think down below if you have watched the show, if you know anything else about the character, how you feel about her. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.